Hello everyone, welcome to this week's crystal channeling. Today I am channeling Danburite from Danburite Crystal. Really high frequency, super potent crystal. I have been working with Danburite for a long time, ever since I was a Reiki master and doing distance healings. I would work with Danburite to help amplify and magnify the healing frequencies for my recipient, as well as to help me to receive any healing guidance that could be of service to my recipient. In fact, I used to give little Danburite points to all my Reiki 2 students after they had qualified for certification as a little thank you gift, but also to help support them in their distance healing work. I really do liken the energy of Danburite to a rocket ship that just blasts you up into higher frequency, higher realms of consciousness, higher, helping you to receive higher guidance, because a lot of mediums and channelers will talk about, in order to really be able to channel effectively and connect with those higher realms and guidance, your frequency needs to rise while they're also coming down to sort of meet you halfway. So this is a really potent crystal for anyone who does any kind of energy healing work, channeling, mediumship, but also for the everyday souls who just feel like they get so weighed down with the everyday and fears of the everyday, ego trappings, whatever it might be. It really helps to lift you up out of, sort of that everyday reality kind of mindset, so that you can see things from a higher perspective. And so it's so very healing and therapeutic in that way. So I'm now going to begin the channeling with Danburite. Woo! And there goes that energy. There goes that energy. It's that type of energy where you just feel like, oh my gosh, like I can't really feel my feet. Like it's definitely, I just feel like I'm kind of floating in the room right now. Lots of tingling vibrations, and I always feel this in my auric field whenever I'm working with something that's really high frequency. And it's not even necessarily a crystal. If any of you have ever had that experience where you're near a guru or a great master, someone who's very saintly, like people will experience this, let's say with Amma, where it's just their energy is so potent and so high that you can feel it. You can feel the shift in vibration and frequency. And I'm definitely feeling that with Danburite. Just this beautiful kind of blossoming opening of my crown chakra, and definitely feeling like, I'm floating in the light, just in this realm, definitely of altered consciousness. For any of you who feel like there are times where, you want to be able to tune out of the world without tuning out yourself, tuning out your connection to source and to energy, but you just need that lift and shift of altered consciousness in a way that is healthy and natural. This is your crystal. So here I am. I feel like I'm floating on a cloud right now. Very high frequency energy. And of course, as I tune into the feelings of my body, I definitely feel, that vitality lift that always comes with that high frequency energy. It's like this, increase in the energy, the electricity that's naturally in the body. And I feel like I want to sneeze, actually. I feel like there's something that's clearing really up in here, actually, in the third eye chakra area. But this is definitely not a crystal that you want to be working with while you're driving or handling heavy machinery, which goes beyond a pencil. So here we are. And, as the energy's coming in, I'm just tuning in with the Danburite consciousness. So part of, well, the message that's coming in is part of the medicine. Part of what this crystal helps us with is reminding us of all that we are. We forget the magnitude of our magic, our thought forms, our consciousness, and it's telling me that it's a real ally, especially to our spiritual selves and our soul nature. And it's interesting because what I'm seeing is I feel like I'm like over I don't know, a country or a continent right now, North America, kind of floating. But what it's showing me is it's showing me, the collective consciousness and unconsciousness of people, and how, powerfully our thought energy affects things. And it's saying we think about this very much on an individual level, like the power of our thoughts, for those of us who have become conscious to this. The power of our thoughts, and how our thoughts affect our emotional energy, and how our emotional energy affects, how we're vibing, and our frequency, which then affects our reality around us. We I'd say we tend to forget, I'm getting massive chills here, we tend to forget that there's also collectively our thought energy, collectively our emotional energy as human beings, and, as, communities, nations, states, and showing me how all of this is powerfully driven towards the fact of this consciousness, the effect of this energy, and our fears, and what it is that we're focusing on. And so there's a reminder for us, not just individually, but also as community, as nations, globally. Where is human consciousness and emotions being directed? And are there ways, are there projects, are there missions, are there those of you out there who feel like your purpose isn't so much, through the individual, or maybe even through traditional channels of, I'm going to be a healer, I'm going to be a therapist, I'm going to go out and do charitable work and good volunteer works and pick up trash, and all of these things are really valuable. But for those of you out there who have that vision, who have that mindset, who have that artistry, of thinking, I want to create work that uplifts and directs human consciousness and feeling and energy and thought towards that can improve our state of being, that can improve the world. This could be movies, it could be art, it could be stories, it could be books, it could be music. We have a lot that's shining a light right now on the darker places in the shadow, which we need, because that's where the core healing has to occur. But we also kind of need this mental redirect into what is possible, what is filled with light, what is filled with hope, what is filled with love, the goodness that is in the world, because that impacts us collectively, and that energy has an effect on the whole world. And it's not about being pie in the sky, it's not about being delusional, it's about seeing the light and amplifying the light and the goodness that is also out there, so that we can start to, as we work on the healing, as there are those of us who are at the ground level doing the work, we can also start to lead our consciousness into greater levels of consciousness, greater levels of awareness, greater levels of compassion, greater levels of sensitivity, and a higher intelligence that doesn't speak necessarily to IQ or meritocracy, but that speaks to a knowingness and an embracingness and a harmony of life on this planet. And so it's saying that this is part of what Danburite's message and medicine can tune us into, individually, but also collectively. And I'm reminded of that quote, I believe it was from Joseph Campbell, and I'm paraphrasing here because I don't remember it accurately, but that the artists are the shamans of our time, and remembering the value of art, of music, of uplifting the soul to higher levels. So again, whether this is medicine that you feel that you could use for yourself right now individually, but then also for our thought leaders, our visionaries, our artists, our musicians, our teachers, the people who are showing up every day, being mindful of that dance we do with shadow and also with light. And so now I feel the channeling's beginning to wind down. And that was just really powerful and very, very beautiful. So thank you, Danburite, and thank you for all of you for being here and being part of this community and being part of this energy and consciousness. And I hope that it blesses you upon your day and that you can share that blessing with others. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys next week with next week's channeling.